Hi everyone, I'm Eleanor. This is Nina. Welcome back and thank you for being here. If you are new here, just a little bit about me. My name is Eleanor. I'm 20 years old. I live in Aotearoa, New Zealand. I like to read, crochet. There's not much to me, but I just thought it'd be a good idea to document parts of my life so I can look back on them and I guess reminisce and see how much I have grown. So I've been on holiday, so Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you. I managed to film some footage of my holiday, so I'm going to be sharing that with you guys, but also my favourite books that I read in 2021. I was very fortunate that me and my partner were able to travel to Taranaki and reconnect with our whānau. Taranaki is very special to me because that's where my roots are. I'm Taranaki iwi, so yeah, Taranaki is a very special place for me. The maunga is just so beautiful and makes me happy whenever I see my maunga. Most of my whānau is scattered across New Zealand, so Christmas is the one time of year that we really get together and get to spend good quality time catching up. It was a well overdue trip down there. I was very happy and to be down there and see everyone. I have such a great time with my cousins, just make me laugh all the time. So love you guys. We kind of had a real classic Kiwi Christmas, lots of swimming, late nights, eating lots of food and drinking, catching up, and we even managed to catch a really beautiful sunset before we left. My partner and I travelled to Onimana in Coromandel to spend New Year's with his side of the family. I really love it down there with my partner's family because it's quite more slow paced than with my family in Taranaki. Yeah, so I'm able to actually wind down, relax. I did a lot of reading, we went on a few walks, tried to tan a little bit. I am still really pale. Oh yeah, and we went boogie boarding a lot, which was so much fun. As an adult now, Christmas to me is more about spending quality time with the ones I love rather than the gifts and presents. Yeah, overall I had a really lovely holiday. I feel well rested and I'm ready to start the year. I really hope that you too were able to have a lovely holiday and see friends and family and have a bit of a break from your everyday life. Now, as for my favourite books that I read in 2021, I read a ton of books this year, more than usual. I think it was due to the pandemic and being cooped up inside of a house. I read a diverse range of books. I had a lot of books recommended to me, given to me, so I'm sure that there is going to be at least one book that might interest you. If I can get you to pick up at least one of these books or just a book in general and start reading, I'll be really happy. Because yeah, reading's a great way to kind of wind down and relax. I don't know, I just really enjoy it because in such a fast-paced society, it's nice to just kind of slow down. It was quite difficult for me to pick out only a small handful of books that I absolutely loved this year because there was a lot of them, but I think I have nailed it down to a couple, a small pile. Here are my favourite books of 2021, so let's get into it. I don't have the first book on me. It was recommended to me by an old lady whom I have mentioned in my previous videos. She always recommends me the best books. I always love every book that she gives me, and this book really got me back into reading and made me fall in love with literature again. This book is Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. Basically this book is about various black women in Britain sharing their story, all of which are very different from each other, and they all have the theme of coming to terms with their identity and who they are. So within the book it delves into topics such as being comfortable with your culture, colour, sexuality, gender, all of that, and it was just really beautiful the way it was written. It was written in multi-perspective, which is a structure that I really like in books. This book feels like you're stepping in somebody else's shoes, and yeah, I don't know, it's just quite cool. Another favorite of mine this year was Boy Solo's Universe by Trent Dalton. My mother recommended me this book and all I can remember is laughing a lot out of disbelief of what is going on in this book. There's so much that goes on that is just like, what? But it is brilliant, very humorous, exhilarating, and surprisingly heartwarming as well. I'll just read you a bit of the blurb, and if the blurb doesn't in the slightest intrigue you, I don't know what else an author can do to captivate someone. Here it is. So Brisbane 1985, a lost father, a mute brother, a junkie mum, a heroin dealer for a stepfather, and a notorious crim for a babysitter. It's not as if Eli Bell's life isn't complicated enough already. And you just follow this young boy through this little section of his life, which is, by the way, very interesting few years. If you're looking for some light entertainment or something quite funny, this one's for you. Another one of my favorite books that I read this year was Coraline by Neil Gaiman. Absolutely love Coraline, the film. I was absolutely obsessed with that film as a child. I even have the little Coraline doll tattooed on me, and I actually never read the book. So my partner Aidan, with the knowledge of my love for the film, bought me this book. I read it, and again, it's just as scary and fun, witty as the film is. This is such a great children's book. The author really treats the child quite maturely. This is a perfect example of children's books don't have to be safe. Not everything has to be sunshine and rainbows to appeal to a children's audience. It also has really cool illustrations in them. I just love this book because it just teaches children to be brave, so I recommend, if maybe you're babysitting, I definitely recommend reading them this book. My next favorite book that I read this year, no surprises here because I absolutely adore this person's books and work. This is Venus in the Blind Spot by Junji Edok. I love his illustrations, his storytelling. It's always really captivating and humorous sometimes, and really creepy. I read a lot of Junji Edok's books this year, but out of all of them, this one stood out the most. This book is a series of short stories, a lot of twists and turns. There's something in this book for everyone, and also something in here that will scare you. Now, this book is my absolute favorite book that I have read this year. You probably know it, it's all over BookTok, and I was a bit skeptical at first because there's been a lot of books that have been recommended to me on TikTok and people have raved about them and loved them, and I've read them and I'm just like, I don't get it. However, I was not disappointed with this book. I absolutely loved it. It is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I've never read a book like this one before. Basically, the book is about an unknown magazine reporter, Monique, is chosen to interview and write Evelyn Hugo's story. Evelyn is a 1950s Hollywood icon, and she has never before really uncovered anything about her scandalous life or the 7 husbands that she has been with. She's been very hush-hush about her life until now, and so you just kind of wonder the entire time, why does Evelyn want to share her story now, and why she has chosen Monique to do it for her. I definitely recommend that you pick up this book. My favorite book series that I read this year, and you're probably gonna guess it, it's Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. I absolutely loved reading those books this year. I couldn't stop myself from reading them. The characters are charming and you just fall in love with them and become attached to them. It was just very easy to digest. Yeah, I really enjoyed reading those books, so definitely my favorite book series this year. Of course, there are a few special mentions. These books are books that I have either already mentioned in my previous videos, or they're just books that I loved reading too but didn't quite make it to my absolute favorites. But I do recommend that you have a look into these books because they are brilliant books as well. I guess that's kind of it for today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope that you have found something that you would like to read from the pile of books that I have shared with you, or I hope that this kind of inspires you to pick up any book and start reading again. As always, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys being here. I hope everyone had a great holiday and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I wish you all the best for this year. It's been lovely chatting. I'll see you next time. Bye.